So my first question is for both the candidates. What do you think should be the size of the JFC in the future? Do you agree with the recent changes made to its structure? So if we could start with Chanel and move on to Eric.
I think that we can definitely continue with the current size of the amount of representatives we have, but it would be nice to have more representatives. This way the groups can be divided up a lot easier and allow the JFC reps to be more involved in the groups they have assigned. And regarding the structure, are you referring to the us starting the process earlier?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that I definitely agree with, because I myself, when I was a treasurer last year, I didn't get to meet with my JFC rep until January, and as a new treasurer, I found that hard because I wasn't aware what the JFC process was, and I would have liked to have met with my rep the semester before. So I definitely think that's a good idea to continue.
Okay.
So I actually voted for the changes. While on Student Senate, we had to approve the changes proposed by Nara when she was elected as the Student Body Vice President for Finance. So obviously I do agree with them. One thing that has happened this year is that usually the Student Body Vice President for Finance has about $1,500 so that they can put towards an executive assistant, someone who can help them, schedule the meetings, do all the menial work that really helps create cohesion in JFC. Nara this year selflessly donated this money to food so we could have food at JFC meetings. Next year we have this money again, and we have increased the food budget so we can keep our representatives at meetings. We can have quorum at every meeting. I'd really like the changes she made, obviously, and I would like to continue that. The one thing is that I would like to change the recruitment process for the JFC. So while I think the cap of 17 people is very good, I would like to interview candidates. Again, this is something Nara would have liked to do but couldn't do because she spent a lot of time scheduling things, meeting with organizations, doing kind of the tasks that could be done by an assistant. If I am elected, I will have the time to interview candidates so we can have a stronger JFC overall. Because this year, I believe 2 people dropped JFC, and while that helped with quorum requirements, I'd really like it if every JFC could be a representative could be there at every meeting. While this is not really plausible because people are busy with school and whatnot, I'd really like to continue the strong structure that NARA has put in place and continue to better that further.
Thank you. The next question is also for both of you. On-campus and off-campus funding sources are drying up, leaving student organizations with JFC budgets as their only source of income. How do you hope to assist organizations in adapting to this situation? So if Eric, you could go
Sure.
first.
Well, first of all, as I said before, I'd like to work with the Student Body Vice President for organizations to really educate groups. We have slides, flyers, brochures within the JFC that really help organizations, understand what they can do to fundraise. I was a JFC representative for the more CMU clubs this year, the computer club, the rocket club, and they spend most of the time, in a lab or working on their projects. So they don't really know, how to bake a cake, for example, to have a bake sale. And that's something, maybe Aaron and I could work with there. Sorry, what was the second part of the question?
It was basically how are you going to help them adapt to the situation?
So one other thing that I would like to look into doing is maybe increasing the activities fee again. I know this was rather unpopular and that this will be hard to pass the GSA, the Graduate Student Association, because I know graduate students don't attend as many activities as undergraduate students, so they do not see the need to further burden their constituents. And I'd really like to, maybe rally the masses to kind of push for another increase for the activities fee, if that's what both organizations and the student body want. Because the JFC, the student activities fee pool, is really the only pool that's still growing and not shrinking. There's been 5% budget cuts across academic departments and 10% budget cuts across administrative departments, and more or less 100% cuts across corporate funding. This year, the Society for Automotive Engineers lost about $20,000 worth of grants from Ford, Toyota, and other such companies. So we had to kind of pick up part of that bill. So I think it's really necessary for us to increase the activities fee even maybe just 5% or even more. That would require trustees' approval, but given my strong relationship with the administration, I think even that would be possible if that's what the student body and student organizations want. Thank you.
I think it's definitely important to educate those organizations on ways to fundraise, whether they're doing bake sales on campus or looking to find grants outside of the campus, or also looking to local businesses to find funding from them. Regarding the increasing of the student activities fee, I would agree with it personally, but I definitely think it should come down to the student body approving it, because they're the ones that's going to be paying it. And regarding increasing it, I think that there should also be a guarantee given to the student body that if we're going to increase it 5%, it's definitely going to be allocated efficiently to groups that need it. And those groups are also going to make a more active effort to show how they are effectively using the funds, such as the service organizations. Like if they could put on a presentation showing the things that they've done in like Honduras or Panama and those other countries that they visit, as well as the organizations that go on conferences, if they can do that as well.
Okay, thank you.